It is really happening, guys. In this video, I'm going to try my best to make a contest level aquascape and participate in the largest aquascaping contest, the IAPLC. Let's get started. So before we get started, this video requires a little bit of story time because I just came back from an amazing trip to Japan. And that whole Japan trip kind of just gave me even more motivation to just become a better aquascaper and to just do better, you know, make better layouts, stuff like that. Now, the main reason I wanted to go to Japan was to visit the ADA gallery, which is kind of like the mecca of aquascape. You know, it's the one place that you have to visit before you leave this world. Now, the ADA gallery is not open to the public. The only way to see it is to sign up for the IAPLC festival, which is happening just 2 weeks ago. So this IAPLC festival is 2 days. The first day is the award ceremony where all the winners of the last year's contest get their awards. And the second day is the opening of the gallery. By the way, if you haven't seen my full tour 88 gallery video, make sure to leave a link on top of the screen and in the video description. But being at that award ceremony was kind of weird because I've been aquascaping for 10 years, but I've never participated in this contest. So I kind of felt like I didn't really have a place being there, you know, like I didn't really had a right to be there almost. Also, some people approached me like, hey Mark, what was your ranking this year? And I was like, I didn't participate. So even though that was a little bit weird for me, it was still amazing to be at this event because you're kind of surrounded by the best aquascapers in the world. Even got a picture with #1, Luca Galarraga. So long story short, this whole Japan trip kind of just inspired me to participate in this contest. Also, when I came back from my trip, this tank was not in the best condition anymore. It was kind of covered in algae. So I thought, let's start now. At least we'll have a lot of time because right now it's beginning of December and the deadline for this contest I think is 31st of May. So I'll almost have 6 months to turn this into a beauty. So let's get started. So let's do a quick overview of the setup. This is my AQUASCAPE 90. It's the biggest tank that I own. This one is measuring 90 centimeters from left to right, 45 centimeters front to back and 45 centimeters tall as well. So it holds roughly 180 liters, which is what, maybe like 40-45 gallons, something like that. So it's a decent size. I would say for an aquascaping contest, a 4-foot tank would be better, so 120 centimeters, but you know, this is what we're working with, and maybe in the future I will upgrade to a bigger tank. Then for the light, I'm using the brand new Chihiro's Vivid 3. This one is really powerful, so I should have no issues growing all the plants that I want. Then in the cabinet, we have the Oase Biomaster 850 Thermo. And that whole PVC structure that you see over there is a CO2 reactor. So from the filter, the water is going to go through that reactor, and that's where I'm injecting the CO2. So then the CO2 enriched water will enter the aquarium, and you don't really have any like CO2 bubbles visible in the tank. So you get a very clear, just a very clear water, clear aquarium, you know, with no CO2 mist or CO2 bubbles obstructing the view. Okay, so let's get to work. First things first, the substrate. I've actually left the old substrate from the previous layout in here because it was only a few months old. So it's still pretty good. I'm just going to add some more nutrients with some Dental Plants power caps. So these are just, nutrient capsules that I'm going to add into the substrate. I think I'm just going to do the whole jar. And I think once we are done with the Hardscape, I'll probably cover everything with a thin layer of just fresh AQUASOIL, you know. Okay, so I've got about 20 of these root caps. I'm just going to push them all the way down. So I took down the old layout yesterday. So also this substrate is still full of beneficial bacteria, you know, so hopefully the tank will cycle quite quickly. We shouldn't really have too many startup algae issues either. I've also cleaned the filter completely, but I've not really washed the biomedia, so again, that's also still full of beneficial bacteria. Okay, substrate taken care of, so now we can do the Hardscape. I've actually already built the Hardscape yesterday, just did it off camera so I could just focus on the process, you know. So I have everything laid out here in front of me. I've got a picture on my phone, multiple pictures actually, so I'm just going to put it back the way it was. So the first part of this Hardscape is going to be 2 really big lava rocks, one on the left and one on the right. So I've had these big lava rocks for quite a while already, and I've only used them once before, which was the South American inspired Big Shallow. I'll overlay a clip of that tank. So that project was a long time ago and these rocks have just been lying in storage. Then the next part is 2 big pieces of wood. These were the pieces of wood that I actually used for the previous layout in this tank. So you can still see there's some green algae on some of the pieces. Yeah, so this is kind of how I got started yesterday. You know, once I saw these 4 pieces of hardscape in here, I thought that this has potential. You know, this can really be something. So then it was just a matter of just adding more rocks, adding more wood, and trying to build something interesting. So this is kind of what I have in mind. This is almost like how it was yesterday. I now just need to spend an hour or so just fine-tuning everything, you know, like finding the perfect position for every single piece of hardscape. Of course, that's very boring, so I'm going to put the camera away again and just get back in the focus mode. Okay, it's been about an hour, maybe even 2. Made good progress. I've actually already started gluing, so most of the big pieces of wood are now glued to the rocks. I think the next step, I want to add in some more substrate. Definitely want to raise the height a little bit at the back, just to help increase the sense of depth. You know, right now it's still quite flat. So I have another bag of dental plants, AQUASOIL. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm gonna just add it slowly, just 1 jug at a time. The last thing I want is too much soil in there. You know, sometimes when you pour it straight from the bag, you can't really control how much you're adding, so jug just makes it easier. And because I'm pouring in more soil, I'm also kind of like burying the rocks a little bit. So you just want to like raise them up a little bit, so you don't bury them completely, you know. So you just pull them out, lay them on top of the soil again. Okay, that's basically everything I wanted to do today. Really happy with the progress already. I think it's starting to look pretty good. I now want to fill the tank up with water, and then I'm just going to look at it for a few days. Make small adjustments if necessary. I can also start thinking about which plants I want to use. So yeah, let's fill up and start the filter. So for now, I'm just filling the tank with tap water. And after I'm done planting, I will switch to reverse osmosis. Also in the foreground, you can see that this layer of soil is quite dirty. That will also later get siphoned out. I'll replace it with sand, and then the sand pump will go all the way towards the back this way. I'm excited about that. I'm gonna go for a glass inflow with a skimming portion, which will go in the back here. And then just a normal lily pipe outflow, which I'll put, I think, in the front like this. Okay, filter is primed, so let's see if we can start it up. We've got work to do. So I would say a week and a half has passed or so. Haven't done anything to the aquarium, haven't made any changes. Just left it like this with the lights on 30% for 8 hours or so. And today we're planting it. I'm excited. So we've got a big box of super fresh plants straight from the greenhouse from Dental Plants. I want to give them a huge shout out. They always support me. So guys, thank you very much. I placed a big order, not just for this aquarium. I'm doing a few more projects. Everything unpacked. Let me show you guys what I ordered. I'll show you just a few of them, otherwise it's going to take too long. So for the foreground and for the sand path, we have 2 different types of crypts. We have the crypt parva and the crypt hobbit. Then to go on the wood, we have bulbitis and we have pinnatifida. Then for the background, we have 2 types of Rotala, the Hra and the Laos, so green and red. I'll probably just mix them. And then I thought, instead of Anubias, I'm going to try the Schismat, I cannot pronounce it, this plant right here. I also bought some sand from a brand that I haven't used before, but looked pretty good. Kind of reminds me a little bit of La Plata, so maybe this is a cheaper version of 88 La Plata sand. So I think the next step is to start draining the aquarium. I'll also siphon out this front layer of substrate. Then after that, I'm going to start preparing all the plants, and after planting it done, I will add in the sand and then fill it back up again. Okay guys, a few days have passed, water has cleared up nicely and tank is looking pretty good. I've also added a fish back in, so we have the African banded barbs, the blue-eyed conger tetras, some otocinclus, and there's one big Siamese algae eater. Now regular viewers of the channel will know that I also used to have the African butterfly cichlids. I still have them, but I decided not to put them back in here because cichlids in a contest tank, I don't think that's a very good combination, especially when these guys are trying to breed. They will destroy this entire layout, so I'm gonna have to find a different home for them. So overall, I'm quite happy with the progress so far. Not really sure how I feel about the sand, but I think the main goal right now should be to focus on healthy plant growth. Fill out all those stem plants in the background, get the bulbitis nice and dense as well, make sure all the moss starts growing, and then we can think about sand and details later on. Guys, I can't believe it's been more than 100 days since I started this aquarium. Like, why does the time go so freaking fast? It's crazy. But yeah, it's currently end of March, which means that we only have about 2 months left for the contest. Deadline is end of May. Tank is looking pretty good. I did have some algae issues along the way. I'll overlay a photo from January. It was absolutely horrible. The algae is slowly starting to die off now, and I'm kind of liking how the tank is looking at the moment. I will make some changes pretty soon. Also have to do a maintenance session, a trimming session. But I kind of wanted to get this video out now for a couple of reasons. First of all, the registration for the contest opens next week. I think it's 1st of April. That was a good reason as well. I also wanted to get this video out now as a call to action, because I'm hoping that, because this is my first time participating in this contest, I'm hoping that I can also inspire and to get some of you guys to participate in this contest as well. Then hopefully together we can bump up those entries into the contest, because they have been going down like the past few years. They started really high during, what happened in 2019, 2020, but since then they kind of started going down again. Yeah guys, if you do have a beautiful tank at home, do consider participating in the contest. Like, it doesn't even matter if you're gonna win any prizes or not, or if it's not perfect or not. All that doesn't matter, just participate and just do it for fun. Like, I'm not really expecting much from this tank either, but I'm just kind of participating so I can tick it off the list and say like, yeah, I did participate once in the IAPLC, and if I enjoyed, I'll probably do it again next year as well. Another reason why I want to get this video out now is, like I said, I need to do a trimming session. I still want to make some changes to the layout, but the contest rule is that you can't really publish your work before the results are announced. I think the results will be announced in August, beginning of August, yeah. So I can't really show you guys the final results, basically. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say for now. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think of my contest layout. Also, let me know if you're thinking of participating or if you're definitely participating. Yeah, curious to know. Guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.